everyone. Hella here. How's it going? And Seraph's here too. Hello. Hi, guys. Hi. Guys, I have a huge breaking story here from Aussie land. And I was going to just do a normal, like a stream this weekend, just going, hi, how's it going? And, catch up on just stuff. But then this thing broke, and I was just like, I have to tell you about this. And, like, guys, I know that there's plenty of other stuff happening. American stories tend to be more interesting for the US guys, but you gotta see this to believe it. You have to see it to believe it. So we have a sovereign citizen in Australia who, by the way, when you call a sovereign citizen, they always say, I'm not really a sovereign citizen. That's their nut jobs, those ones, right? He is well known. He has a following. And he's from Victoria, which is the state that brought us the most locked down city in the world, Melbourne. And on the 29th of August, I think it was 29th, so last week, not 29th, so 24th, I think, whatever it was, 6 days ago, 10 armed police officers came to his property, and 2 of them didn't make it out. So he allegedly shot down 2 officers, RIP, and he then fled into bushland, and he has not been seen since. And apparently this dude is very good at looking after himself out in this remote bushland. And it's very cold out there, by the way, too. And despite the fact that he's actually no one really is debating that he has killed these 2 officers, he's still got support. So I need to tell you about this guy. His name is Dezi Freeman, Dezi Freeman. He has changed his name to Freeman. I think his old name was Philby, Philby. And I'm going to show you some footage of his today, which I've unearthed of him in court a little while ago, a couple years ago, actually trying to arrest the judge and the guards around him, because that's the kind of dude he is. And I'll bring Dali in and then say hi to everybody, then we'll get into it. Hey. How's it going? Hey,
good.
Christine, how are you? And Tracy and Scott, how's it going?
Hey.
Well, have you had a look at this at all? I sent you some.
I glanced at it, but not really. Figured I'd be surprised.
Well, there's that. Plus, it's Australia, so.
And I don't care, so.
Yeah, you don't care. Yeah, fair. All right, so like about bogans and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Prepare to see some bogans.
Ooh.
And I may have to do some like translating and stuff for you, because there's going to be some quite Australian accents and things happening throughout this. Okay, so
yell him.
All right, let's get into it. You're sounding a lot better. Yeah, he is, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's looking better too. He's looking more sprightly.
Took a while, but yes.
Yeah. So we're back in Victoria. See, recognize this, because last time I told you about an Australian story, it was back down there. So I got to get the old graphic out. The home of lockdowns and awful coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And sorry, I'll just go back. So the name of the town is
PorePunkah.
PorePunkah. Yeah. So it's actually a really beautiful part of the world. I'll show you it in a minute. The situation unfolding right now. These 2 police officers right here, top left, RIP, they were gunned down in the raid last week on this man's house. Now, apparently the reason they were raiding his house was on child sex allegations, right? you make your own decision. I have no background on this at all, except that when you start to get to know this man from the videos that I'm going to show you, whether or not he seems to be a child predator, I tend to think maybe not. It seems not to really fit his profile, but he has had the cops come after him for various things over the years. So I don't know. I just don't know about this child sex thing. He seems to be a family man to me, but I don't know. Maybe it's true. So let's just watch this.
This is the man suspected of shooting and killing 2 police officers in Victoria. His name is Desmond Christopher Philby, also known as Dezi Freeman. On the morning of August 26, 10 Victoria police officers arrived at Freeman's property in PorePunkah to enforce a firearms prohibition order. Freeman lived in a converted bus with his wife and children. He was known for anti-government views, legal disputes, and protests. As officers moved in, it's alleged that he opened fire. 2 officers were killed. Detective Leading Senior Constable Neil Thompson and Senior Constable Vardine Duvart. Police say he then fled into the bush, potentially taking the officers' service pistols with him. Roads were closed, PorePunkah Primary School went into lockdown, and residents were urged to stay inside. Specialist police units, helicopters, and search dogs immediately began searching the area. Authorities warned that Freeman was heavily armed, an expert in the local terrain, and extremely dangerous.
I can assure everyone that we are pouring every resource into this search for this person. We must find him.
Freeman has a history of extremist views. He calls himself a sovereign citizen, rejects the authority of courts and police, and has previously described officers as Nazis and terrorist thugs.
Wait.
Described officers, authority of courts and police.
He has a camera strapped to his body. Like it's not a phone, it's a little camera. Right? Like he's like Chili. Like Chili could learn from this dude. Yeah, he's got a body cam. Yeah? Like Chili could do a lot better. Like this dude is next level.
Yeah.
Right. Now note the masks and things around. So this is back in the COVID era. Yeah. Yeah.
Of courts and police.
Where's his mask?
Previously described officers as Nazis and terrorist thugs.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Where's his mask?
Good question.
Full out war.
Is he vaccinated at least?
In 2020, he was fined and banned from driving after speeding, refusing a drug test, and filming police as he drove away.
I arrest you for acting aggressively and when interested and perverting the course of justice.
In 2018,
okay. Spoiler alert, I have that whole hearing, right? So get ready, guys. If you're here, I know there's not many of you who've tuned in today. I haven't been around for a bit. Maybe you didn't get your notifications, or maybe you're just not interested in Aussie stuff. But those who've turned up or you watch it on replay, you're going to get rewarded with the best sovereign citizen hearing spaz out you've ever goddamn seen. So stay tuned.
Appeared on A Current Affair, saying his family was being harassed by neighbours.
That day, Dezi Freeman seemed genuine. He seemed genuinely upset, a man protecting and defending his family. Well, that was the appearance. But I do recall that day, he seemed very obsessive, the sort of man who would talk at you and not to you.
Police say Freeman acted alone and that his wife and children were not involved. Political leaders have paid tribute to the officers who died. The case has also renewed concern about the threat of armed extremists in rural Australia.
Of course. Of course. All right, so let's move on. Now, did you notice when we were watching that they had some really nice footage of old Dezi? Right? So he's not just some rando. They had some footage of him in his home, like with his children, acting quite normal, right? So they didn't just have footage of, but like they didn't just have footage of him like being arrested and stuff. They have footage of him like acting quite sort of normal, yeah. So where did that come from? So turns out that the very first time that he was really seen was 6 years ago. He went on this show called A Current Affair, which is like a sort of a tabloidy kind of news show prime time, right? And he was complaining about his rowdy neighbors. So he was not the bogan, his neighbors were. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. So that's not him, that's his neighbor.
No, he's classy.
Yeah. So, but he was always filming his neighbors. Who does that remind you of?
Me.
Suck on that, dickhead. All right, so watch this.
Dezi and Marley Freeman thought they were
6 years
giving
ago.
their sons a dream childhood in the country. Instead, they're living next door to a family they say taunts them with chainsaws, dirt bikes, and obscene abuse.
How pretty is it out there?
Marley, why did you come to live out here?
Look around you. The mountains, Mount Buffalo Day, fields are green, the air is so fresh, you can hear the birds. Perfect paradise, and it's so peaceful.
Well, it was.
Sadly.
They're the Bogans from Buffalo. Their target, a family of 4.
Bullying us, they're draining us, and that's the tactics of bullies is they drain you, they wear you out.
Dezi and Marley Freeman live in the shadows of Mount Buffalo with their children, Koa and Kenai. Over there, a short profanity away, are the Sacutellis, Father Rosario, his wife, and their teenage sons.
These dirt bike ferals move here.
Dad?
They think it's the Wild West.
In fact, it's the wild
Did you
Northeast.
understand that bit?
Which part?
These dirt bike ferals move here. They think they own the bloody place.
I think so, yeah.
Right, cool.
It's on Victoria's snow line.
Yeah.
High country, low behaviour.
Get behind the tree, ugly.
The
I like
Freemans
this
versus
guy.
the Sacutellis erupted 5 years ago. Dezi says after they complained about
Well,
stunts.
he's a card.
Seems hell hath no fury like the Sacutelli scored. Rosario, or Czar as he's known in these parts, leads the charge.
Deal with your wife, mate. She's the only one that works.
Dirt bike ferals and a mouth to match. It's aggressive, vile, intimidating, and the Freemen say frightening.
Take a photo of that, you dickhead.
That's all we wanted, please.
What is their reputation?
Tough guys, these are tough guys. And that really intimidates.
It's just 6 years ago, Scott. Right?
During
And so
COVID?
look at Dezi. Look at Dezi there. Dezi doesn't look like some sort of like cop killer, does he? Right? He just
No,
wants a
so this was
peaceful life.
2019?
Hmm.
Simpler
so
times.
before the lockdown.
BC, before COVID.
Before COVID, right? So this Czar guy across from him, he's always like, your wife's the only one who does any fucking work, you dickhead. Right? So he's the one causing trouble.
Intimidates me. And my kids. That's the main thing, the kids.
How are the kids affected?
Look, it's been hell. They don't even want to come outside
I'll tell you
anymore
about the
to
bus
play
in a minute, Scott.
because they're scared as well.
Neighbours working together? Seriously, around here, that's got to be the joke of the century. It started with trail bikes. Then torrents of abuse. Intimidation with a chainsaw. And finally, all out war.
It is full out war. And they are the instigators of it.
What happened that day with the chainsaw?
Sacutellis, Rosario Sacutelli came and dragged a log and chainsawed it, chopped it right at the back of our fence there. I was like, oh my God, what is he gonna do next?
Were you scared?
I was really scared.
But tough guy Czar isn't done. He came, he saw, and then he intimidates the defenseless mum with
look at the other
disgusting
dude.
abuse.
Pretty.
What did you think could happen or might happen?
Oh, anything could happen. It's the fear of the unknown.
That was your fear.
Yes, that was my fear.
Soon we'll talk, Deza. But first, can you imagine living next door to this? Hardly easy country charm.
I want to. The guy seems pretty based.
It's pretty based, but the thing is, okay, so imagine now living next door to the Freemans, right? Because they just had like 10 armed police officers turn up to their house or their bus, and there's a shootout, right? And now the whole town is in goddamn lockdown for the last 6 days and for God knows how much longer, right? So now they're the neighbors from hell. Guys, I've posted on our Discord the rest of this video. You can watch it whenever you feel like it. But let's move on. So then 2020 happened, right? Dueling banjos. Yeah. 2020 happened, right? And so Dezi beforehand was just some dude who was living out in the country with his wife and 2 kids in a house that happened to have a bus on the property. And then 2020 happened. And now we'll get to know a bit more about Dezi Freeman.
Dezi Freeman, 56, is accused of ambushing police who arrived at a rural Victorian property where he and his wife lived with their children. He allegedly shot 2 officers dead and wounded a third. Freeman is said to have stolen guns from the fatally wounded officers. He remains on the run in the dense bushland of PorePunkah, about 300 kilometres northeast of Melbourne. Freeman was born Desmond Christopher Philby and is a self-described sovereign citizen. Since the COVID-19 pandemic, he had developed a public profile within the radicalised anti-government community. His intense hatred for police is well documented in online posts, video footage and court documents. During a hearing last year appealing his suspended driver's licence, Freeman told a court that even the sight of a cop or cop car, it's like an Auschwitz survivor seeing a Nazi soldier. On Tuesday, locals told The Age that during the coronavirus pandemic, his behaviour became increasingly erratic. One local said, "He went from being just a pretty ordinary country bloke to quite a strange bloke. He fell down a bit of a rabbit hole and sort of disappeared and went off the radar." During the lockdown years, Freeman appeared on podcast episodes discussing his attempt to arrest a magistrate and made headlines in 2021 when he helped lead an unsuccessful attempted private prosecution of then Premier Daniel Andrews for treason. Freeman went to school in the Melbourne suburb of Glen Waverley before moving to the Victorian border town of...
Yeah, he tried to prosecute, like, basically what's the governor of the state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Wodonga in 1977.
okay.
He had been living at the PorePunkah property for years. A neighbour said Freeman was used to living off-grid and worried he could survive a long time in the dense bushland. Freeman was known to police and during previous interactions had referred to them as corrupt scum and criminal filth who were obsessed with power.
I'm going to go on a walkabout.
Kind of. All right, so we can watch him trying to arrest the magistrate later, but first let's get back to the current situation because we do have the magistrate thing. All right, so basically 26 was when this all went down, and since then it's just been all over the news. People can't get enough of this whole story, and of course 2 police officers have died. So
their loved ones a little tighter. Something, sadly, 2 of our members tonight will have missed the opportunity.
This is the night it happened, and then
Wayne Gatt from Victoria's Police Union there on the grim reality of what officers across the country are feeling. Before that, we did hear from the Chief Commissioner in Victoria. He said that the priority tonight obviously is to locate and arrest that gunman, not just so he is held to account for his alleged actions today, but for the safety of the community. Of course, this is an incredibly scary situation there, and right now residents are being told to stay indoors.
It really is, and we have to remember that gunman is on the run. He has allegedly his wife with him and 2 children.
No.
There's a police helicopter right now above bushland.
Okay, so this was when it first broke, and his wife and 2 kids were with him in the bus, right? But it's since been revealed that the family aren't with him, right? So basically they're living in the bus. Apparently they got evicted from the house, but they're still on the property living in the bus, right? I might get people in my comments later. Yeah. I might get people in my comments later go, no, that's not what happened. But that's what I've read, right? So they're living in this bus, and 10 armed police officers came along and raided the property in the middle of the night. Yeah. And they had guns out and everything. And apparently he managed to shoot 2 of them. They're down, and he took their arms from them and runs off into, right?
So he has 75% of the guns in Australia now.
Pretty much. Pretty much. And his arms, apparently, they were homemade, right?
Nice.
So, yeah.
It's not hard, but it's still impressive.
Well, yeah. But his wife and children, they didn't go with him into the bushland or anything, right? So they've actually been seen since, and the wife was arrested and let go because apparently, they tried to say that she was involved, but no.
It's been an unfolding story all day. So this is what we have learned about that alleged gunman and how the day unfolded.
Okay, we've seen all this.
Police arrived this morning to deliver a warrant.
Here we go.
Mike Bush. Mike Bush.
This is the property in question, 300 kilometres out of Melbourne, down a laneway on acreage. Sometime during the execution of that warrant, police were ambushed. 2 officers shot dead. One was a veteran, a detective, due to retire within days. The third was wounded, shot in the leg, and is currently
He was about to retire.
Our thoughts are with the police for...
That is such a stereotype from like 70s cop movies where like somebody dies. Oh, he was about to retire.
There's always one that's about to retire, right?
Oh, it's not funny, but it kind of is.
It's not funny, but here's the thing, right? There are, and I hate to say conspiracy theorists because people call me that too, but there are people who support Dezi going, how's this even possible, right? How are there 10 armed police officers arriving at a bus, right? And he manages to shoot 2 down, take their guns, and run away, and they're not even shooting back or anything. Like,
well, did they have guns? Maybe they.
Yeah,
I think Australia only has 2 guns, and those 2 officers had them.
Right. So those 2.
Yeah. So yeah, he's officially kind of king of Australia now.
Yeah, I suppose. Oh, by the way, that's our prime minister there. Look at what a dweeby is.
Yeah, nice tie.
Yeah.
They do each and every day. The men and women who wear the uniform of the police force.
Yeah, to sign them out.
Take risks each and every day.
This is Dezi Freeman at a rally in country Victoria in 2021. It was back during COVID lockdowns, and he, along with a group of supporters, had managed to successfully lodge papers accusing then Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews of treason. Dezi Bird Freeman isn't his birth name. The reason for the change in surname is due to the movement he believes in, the Freeman movement. These are so-called sovereign citizens who believe they're independent from the government and the rule of law. They are literally free men on the land where they live. At this rally in Myrtleford, he was well known and well supported. Police marched him to the station, followed by a vocal crowd.
Go and find my wife.
Yeah. What's your name? What's your name?
Dezi Freeman. Dezi Freeman. Dezi Freeman.
Dezi's wife is Marley. She's a singer-songwriter and a music teacher. She's shown here at that same rally in Myrtleford.
Not wearing a mask.
In this current affairs story back in 2018. Here they're interviewed as victims living next door to some unusual neighbours.
That's the tactics of bullies, is they drain you.
It is full-out war. And they are the instigators.
I love how they're using that.
It's been reported that Dezi Freeman is now on the run from police in this area of bushland, not far from their house. It's also believed his wife Marley and their children are with him.
No,
it's unclear
that's been
if they are there willingly.
We have deployed all specialist resources into the area to arrest the person responsible.
The Police Minister and I have been briefed by the Chief Commissioner of Victoria Police, and this situation remains active. I do ask the Victorian community, particularly those in that beautiful part of the northeast of our state,
Oh, they're gearing up to
follow
fight
the advice of
magpies.
Victoria Police and avoid the area.
The shooting in Victoria bears eerie similarities to the one in Weambilla, Queensland in 2022. Two constables, Matthew Arnold and Rachel McCrow, along with a neighbour, Alan Dare, killed on a country property by 3 shooters who also described themselves as sovereign citizens.
See, they
like
also
today,
didn't say
it
that
was
sovereign
an
citizens.
ambush. And in that case, all 3 shooters were killed by tactical police in the following siege.
We will do everything to bring this person into custody so that your community is safe.
So, guys, do you think?
Let's go to our.
Do you think? What do you think the chances are of him being taken in like unscathed? Right, like if they see him, do you think they're just gonna like go, "Oh, would you like to come with us?" Or do you think they're gonna blow his goddamn brains out?
Well, can he like find an Aboriginal tribe or something? Do they still have those and like join them?
Do they still have those?
Go on a walkabout and
I think you underestimate Dezi, right? So Dezi is.
does he Rama Rama?
No. Dezi knows how to handle it out there, right? Like people are saying, oh, he could be out there for months. Like he could have like caves set up with like equipment and because he's a prepper, right? Like he knows the area. He knows it better than the cops do. They're at a disadvantage. He wouldn't be the first one either. We've had a dude go out and hide from the cops in the bushland before for months and before being taken into custody. So yeah, we have skilled bushmen.
What is bushland? Is it like desert, forest?
You saw it. Hang on. You saw it. It's quite foresty, right? But
Okay.
this isn't like desert. No, it's actually really cold down there. So at the moment it's starting to snow. Like it's not snowing, but it's like sleet. So it's 0 degrees. Yeah. Do you know what 0 degrees is?
32 Fahrenheit.
Yeah. So it's like the freezing point of water. Yeah, Sarah, go away.
We decided to do the number that makes much more sense. 32.
Yeah, sure, 32. Yeah, that makes much more sense.
But, yeah.
All right, let's keep going. Ned Kelly. Do you know who Ned Kelly is? So Ned Kelly is kind of like our Robin Hood. Like, you know, like he's infamous, but people like love him, even though he was a murderer. But he was a murderer like in the 1800s. So, you know, he has a sort of a wistful romantic thing going on about him. I don't know.
Okay.
All right. Moving on. Okay, so there's always an expert. Let's have a look at the criminal profiler, shall we?
That Jeb
Well, the
Bush.
search for the gunman accused of killing 2 police officers in cold blood has now entered its 3rd day. Police are wasting no resource in Victoria's treacherous high country in the hopes of locating that alleged killer. Criminologist Vincent Hurley joins us now in the studio to offer his insight. Vincent, good to see you this morning.
Good
Thanks for
morning.
coming in. So 34 hours into this search, police are still looking for this alleged gunman. The conditions out there have gotten worse overnight. It is wet, it is cold. Does that help or hinder their search?
It will help the police search at all.
How?
Because they know the conditions for starters, and they'll be able to use the conditions to assess his physical condition once they find him. They may not rush in and arrest him, but they'll assess his physical condition because he's exposed to the elements. The police will be able to be rotated through themselves during each shift, but he won't be. So the conditions will wear him down.
Okay, but that doesn't
They're
assume
kind of
that they even
sissies,
know
the
where he
Australian
is, right? I mean, this
police.
is his
So
backyard. He knows this.
they
by
can only be
police's
out there
own
for a
admission,
few hours.
better than they do this area.
Yeah, that's true. But also the police would have got two cordons, inner perimeter and outer perimeter, and they will have an idea as in the geographic area in which he may be. Now, they won't disclose that to the public, but he might know the area, absolutely. But the police have the advantage of time and the weather.
And he won't
we
have
saw in
any
2012 the hunt for
cocoa.
the convicted murderer Malcolm Naden. He went bush for 3
You can
months
see it.
after shooting that police officer before he was caught. After shooting that police.
Well,
So it's like-
she's going to refer to the other guy who was in the bushland for a long time. Hang on a minute.
Naden, he went bush for 3 months after shooting that police officer before he was caught. In your experience, how likely is it for this alleged gunman in this example to survive weeks, maybe even months in the bush?
That's a good question. If he's a bit of a prepper, as they say, he could have somewhere in a cave food, water, change of clothes, jacket, firearms and ammunition. So he should be up there for months. But I would suspect that the police have got a cordoned area, unlike Malcolm Nader, where he was sort of roaming free for quite a few months, where they exactly know where this bloke is. So that will work again to their advantage. But yes, he is skilled in the bushcraft, but sorry.
Well, in addition to that, police say he's also heavily armed. So how do they approach this while keeping their safety in mind, while all the while knowing that this is the man accused of killing two of their own, gunning them down, allegedly?
Yeah.
This is the man they're hunting for.
Yeah. They'll be really methodical and really be careful not to breach any type of legislation or law, because ultimately they'll have the view that they want to bring in the court. So they'll be really methodical in how they go about it.
So strap in for the long haul, do you think, for the community? Because, I mean, at the moment they're being told to stay indoors. But how do you? I mean, is it even possible to lock down a whole town like that while you're searching for him?
The police will have an idea.
Sorry. Is it possible to lock down a whole town? They locked down the whole city for 18 months.
Yeah.
Is it possible? It's like, hello, this state is the case study for the entire world on lockdowns, right? I dare say that this dude went nuts because of the lockdown, right? I think that's fairly obvious, actually, that he went nuts because of the lockdowns. Lots of people did, right? Yes, Lucy, didn't they lock down the whole planet once? Especially this part of the world. Right, especially strap in. You mean they get strapped? Them pretending the pandemic didn't happen.
It's really cute.
Right. Okay. It is cute, isn't it? All right. Let's move on.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Clearly fugitive.
For the past 3 days, a police helicopter has been circling above Carol Lowen's home. Just over the hill from her backyard, less than a kilometre away, is the scene of Tuesday's fatal police shooting at PorePunkah.
You won't go outside because you're frightened. You feel like there's something at your back. You know, you feel like there's somebody behind you. So, yeah, it is scary.
Alleged gunman Dezi Freeman, who police say murdered 2 officers, is still out there. Police say he is armed and dangerous, and there have been no confirmed sightings. Today, he was urged to give himself up.
If Dezi Freeman's watching this, ring 000, and we will support a surrender plan. That option's open to him, absolutely.
Okay, I need to just talk about this whole idea of him even watching it. Like, where's he watching it? It's 3 days in. His phone's got to be
Starlink.
His Starlink. His phone's got to be out of charge by now, right? I mean, unless someone's harboring him, and people like they have suspicions that someone's harboring him, because there are people in the town who are very anti-government and very pro-Desi. So, yeah, I'm sure there's been lots of houses that have had their door knocked on. But yeah, I mean, whether they really think that he's watching this, and
are cops allowed to like go into people's houses to search?
No, you need a search warrant, but like they'll go up to the door and be like, well, you know, please, can we come in? If there's exigent circumstances, of course, they can go in.
Okay.
I don't know whether or not like this situation might be considered because it's a threat to the community. And if they have reason to believe you're harboring a fugitive, they could get a warrant
Well, we had a situation like that with, I think, the Boston bombing suspect was out in the community, and they were like going into people's homes to find him. So I was just kind of curious.
I watched a documentary on that. Not that I know anything about it other than the documentary, but yeah. Surrender plan. Good luck with that. Yeah, he's not going to listen to the cops. This is a dude who hates the cops so much and distrusts them so much. Do you really think if he's listening to it that he believes that he's going to be kept safe if he surrenders? Come on now. Yeah.
And police had this message for the community.
What I would say to the community and say to anyone who may be considering or harbouring or supporting him, they need to reconsider. They're committing a criminal offence and we will prosecute them.
If you see this fugitive, what we do know about him, the last time that he was seen, he was heavily armed. Do not approach him. And if you do see him, ring 000. We ask the community to be vigilant. We couldn't be more clear on this.
Carol found out a gunman was on the loose when police arrived at her property.
I just couldn't believe it. You know, that just doesn't happen in Ryde or PorePunkah, you know.
Doesn't happen in
And
PorePunkah.
so we just had the TV on all day, listening to bits and pieces. The chopper went round all day over our place and back around where he lives.
How close are you to the scene of the shooting?
It's not far away, you know. At first I didn't know it was that close. But, it's not far away at all. The first day, they were everywhere, and the chopper went round and round and round all day. There's just been police everywhere, you know, everywhere.
The small town of PorePunkah has been hit
They're starting to
hard by
build a
news
wall.
that Senior Constable Vadim Devat and Detective Leading Senior Constable Neil Thompson were allegedly killed by the fugitive.
They're doing their job. They leave home and they don't go home. Their family's at home and then not coming home.
And he's
you know,
it's this bit
sad. And these police that are here now, you know, they don't know if they're going home either. Who knows what's going to happen?
Just outside of Carol's property, police set up a roadblock. Right now we are under police escort. We are being taken from one side of the exclusion zone where we have been stuck for about an hour to the other side where the town of PorePunkah is. And just up here on the right is the Rainer track. At the end of that
Hey, he's
road
driving
is
on the wrong
property
side of the road.
where the shooting occurred earlier this week, and that property is where specialist police are working out of to try and locate Dezi Freeman.
You should be prosecuted. How much being distracted while you're driving?
What?
Today, this valley and the bushland at the foothills.
You're not even allowed to look at your phone when you're driving in Australia, right?
Even if it's self-driving?
I don't know about that. But you can't touch it, you can't there's any
Crazy.
distraction. Like, you cannot be going like that, doing a TV.
Really?
No. That's so illegal.
Wow.
Hills of Mount Buffalo has been cloaked by rain and clouds.
It's really difficult terrain. It's complex terrain, and it's not something that we, even with our specialist resources, can move through quickly because it is dangerous terrain as well. So we will tread carefully through that terrain because we obviously don't want to put any of our members in danger and search for this fugitive.
Well, are they going to I really don't know.
And search for this fugitive.
Well, are they going to get it?
Tread carefully through that terrain because we obviously don't want to put any of our members in danger and search for this.
What the hell is he wearing?
What's with this happy dude in the background? Oh, that's really inappropriate. Sorry, I'm saying it's really inappropriate. Anyway, moving on. I need to show you. All right, so modern day Rambo. that won't surrender, a friend says. On Thursday, police called Mr. Freeman's surrender and reiterated that the situation could be managed safely. But Mick, who's his friend, also says he does not believe Mr. Freeman will surrender. He tells the ABC that Mr. Freeman would sometimes disappear into the bush for a couple of days at a time and could carry 2 freshly killed deer on his back. He's a modern-day Rambo, he says. There's not a chance of getting him alive. Mick. Yes, Mick. In fact, I'll show you Mick. Where's Mick? Mick. There's Mick. Oh, no. That's Stephen Mallet. Hang on. Where's Mick? There's Mick. Mick. Good old Mick. Mick says that he's a modern-day Rambo. He had high-power rifles and he has military rifles, he says. He's got stuff you wouldn't even dream about.
But
I saw it with my own eyes. Yeah, years ago. Yeah. He was a bloody good shot, Mick says. Every shot counts.
Yeah, you only got 10 bullets in Australia.
Yeah. I just hope no one else gets hurt now. I don't know how they're going to stop him. Yeah, right. Oh, look at that pretty photo.
Aww.
Oh, now that is nice. All right, back to where we were. Okay. So, guys, I promised you. Oh, no, first we'll do this. Yeah, Desi's wife turned up at the court, right? I don't know why, but she's locked out. Right, so people are going, oh, his wife must be in on this, right? And she even got arrested, but she got let go. Yeah, she's quite nice, it seems.
Racing to court, Marley Freeman, wife of Australia's most wanted man. Flanked by supporters, the 42-year-old arrived at court 12 hours after being arrested.
You stop it. I punch me. I tell you straight away. Stop.
But she was locked out. The court was shut.
Don't get this.
4 days after her husband murdered 2 officers, police have turned their attention to Dezi Freeman's family, taking his wife and a 15-year-old into custody.
There may or may not be charges that follow.
Police storming the home of a family friend.
You can see them, they're behind a car.
It was a coordinated strike. Heavily armed tactical police moving in convoy. The street shut down.
We're going to have to get you to move back.
Police shouting at those inside, come out with nothing in your hands.
Right.
The hunt for a cop killer is unrelenting. Roads blocked, dog units.
All right, so, oops.
Damn it.
Hunt down all cops. Dezi Freeman, something or other. His Facebook posts have been unearthed. All right, so let's have a look at this. There's this newspaper, or it used to be a newspaper. It's called Crikey. Very popular. Okay, Sarah, I'm keeping you away from the courts. Yeah, I know. A near decade of private Facebook posts exclusively obtained by Crikey, Telegram messages, and unreported Instagram comments show that Freeman posted more about his hatred of police than anything else. Torture and kill those gutless, demonic traitors, he said. He obsessively posted fantasies about killing and torturing police officers across social media platforms in the years leading up to the alleged shooting, blah, blah, blah. Okay. These show how Freeman, who remains at large at the time of writing for allegedly murdering 2 police officers in PorePunkah, has sustained an escalating fixation with violence towards police. They also capture how Freeman's use of social media shifted during the pandemic to exclusively posting about grievances, COVID-19 conspiracy theories, Christianity, and other sensationalist reactionary politics. Hang on, Christianity is not sensationalist. Getting a bit nasty. Okay, so here's something. He posted this. Do you want to read it?
Aye. Gutter slime Nazis in Hellborn today committed more violence against women and deliberate unlawful torment, as these injuries prove, mate. What pathetic excuses are leftards gonna make for this, eh?
well, so that's August 2020. Now, interestingly, August 2020 was when our version of the BLM protests were happening.
Really?
Right? And I don't know why we were having BLM protests here. Why? Ask someone who went.
Okay.
I don't know.
Do you have your own Kyle Rittenhouse down there?
No, it just I think people were just bored. Like people were like being locked down for I don't know 12 weeks by then, and
Yeah,
it was
fair.
just they wanted something to protest about. So people who really believed in all that stuff will like hate me and get in my comments and be like, "No, we care about George Floyd." But nah, I genuinely think people just really wanted to get out.
Fair.
Hellborn is a good name for it. I was sympathetic towards this guy, but he used apostrophes to pluralize words. Yeah, nah, fuck him. I agree. This bit, guys, you'll recognize this bit. In another post that same year, he replied to another posting about the news of the manslaughter of 95-year-old Claire Noland. Remember her? By New South Wales Police Senior Constable Christian White, with a link to a YouTube video titled 10 Most Brutal Torture Methods.
Okay.
All right. So remember her? She's the granny who got tasered by a police officer, and that was Christian White, right? And she got tasered because she was wielding a steak knife and she had dementia in a rural what do you call it?
Nursing home.
Nursing home, yeah, in the middle of the night. And Christian White, this officer, big dude, comes in and goes, "Bugger it," and tasers the old lady, right? She falls, she gets a brain bleed and dies, right? And he's found guilty of manslaughter, actually. And so, yeah, he's pretty pissed with this officer, rightly so, I reckon. And then gone, let's link to a YouTube video titled 10 Most Brutal Torture Methods. Bugger it. Pew, pew, pew. Yeah. Was she an exceptionally spry 95-year-old? Not really. No, she had a walker.
She had a walk. Yeah. Is his appeal still going? I thought he got off.
No. Actually, no, when you say his appeal, so the government was appealing his sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because his sentence was nothing, basically, he just got like community service and probation. So the government was trying to get him like some jail time, but it was an appeal. And the judge went no, and so that's done now. There's been 2 of those, and it's done. So he's not going to jail. He's not going to appeal his conviction. I don't think he is.
I wouldn't.
The time. Yeah, why would you appeal your conviction? He did pretty well out of it. All right. So anyway, back to where we were. Okay, so who are Desi's supporters? Oh.
I'm here with Dezi Freeman at the front of the Wangaratta Courthouse. Dezi has just done an appearance. And how did it go today?
Well, as usual, that was my 15th hearing, by the way, in 2.5 years. The court is totally corrupt and lawless. They're unable to obey a single law. Magistrate Dunn was scheduled on here, who'd already been banned from hearing any cases against me and had even recused himself as well. He heard the case, was smart-ass and arrogant the way he's always been, had absolutely no regard for the law or for natural justice or for my right to have my case heard. And so, in trying to railroad me when I was prepared for a real fair hearing, I was forced to arrest him under Section 458 of the Crimes Act. I told him he was not free to leave and he was in my custody. I then told the prosecutor, Dosser, that it was his job as the highest rank in the room to make the arrest. And he's like, no. Okay. I got the next one as a senior constable, a woman. She wouldn't do it. So then they tried to chuck me out of the court illegally. I addressed the Supreme and High Court justices listening to the recording as to what was going on specifically. I then gathered my papers as these big custody officer and this other goon with guns came and threatened me with physical violence against Section 83.4 of the Criminal Code Act. I then arrested both of them. So four cops in the courtroom and the magistrate have just been arrested in Wangaratta because they are filthy, corrupt, disgusting, lawless predators who seem to get some thrill out of messing with people's lives.
Well,
so people of Australia, every one of you, start arresting and prosecuting these criminals. These criminals are now going to be prosecuted, starting in the Supreme Court, no doubt, and the private prosecutors. They think they're above the law. They're not.
Do you know how us
to the bloody, what do you call them? The chief magistrate in Melbourne, get that done out of this job. He has no right to be there, and anyone else involved in it. And to you, Victoria Police, your bloody reputation is already floating in the toilet, and you seem determined to flush it down. You are accountable to us, the people. We implore you to uphold justice and uphold the law. You have done neither in 15 court hearings. I got bloody laws and facts galore.
Oh, dear.
I couldn't even present because you people are just totally indifferent and couldn't give a shit. You have no right to be in the positions that you are in. You look for the splinter in the eyes of the innocent while tripping over the logs hanging out of your own. You're pathetic.
He acts like all of Australia isn't like formed from criminals.
Oh, dude. Okay, so that was on Facebook. Now, P.S. Guys, who've been patient, I have the court hearing where all that happened. So he's walked out of that hearing, and when I show you it in a second, you'll see he's wearing the same clothes, right? So I have video of the Zoom link, right? Just be prepared. Okay, so there's him looking all upset. But this video here of him afterwards having a spaz, that's on Facebook. And I'll show you this tab. I'll show you the comments. Comments are over here. So there are 3.6k people. This is just one of them. There's tons of these. All right. So filthy, corrupt legal system. I love this guy, and they set him up. This is all a day ago. People fight back has begun on a new level, everyone. I will fight. I will never give up. It was only a matter of time before the government's courts and cops did something to shut him down. Anyone standing against corruption gets taken out one way or the other. Yes, Australia's version of Killary. Okay. Masonic filth. Now, this is interesting. There's a lot of talk amongst these people that all of the cops and the lawmakers are Masons, right?
Okay.
Okay. This is starting to ring bells now, and I'm like starting to wonder whether or not, like, okay, I'm not even going to talk. These self-appointed authorities must forget our foreparents have fought in 2 world wars, and that this mighty nation that is in decline now because of them has been built with their blood and sweat and tears. I'm not going to read all this. All Freemason-backed and supported, whether right or wrong, they stand behind each other. I hate people who write the word weather like as in the sun and the rain, meaning whether it's right or wrong. Yeah. Oh, my Lord. In the words of Senator, wow. Poor man, what a sad situation. No justice. Sad it turned out this way. I've got my money on the fact that they will shoot to kill him, poor bugger. Yeah, so do I. Poor fella fought for us all on many, many occasions. All right, let's see then, shall we? Let's see. Boom.
Peter Dunn, I arrest you for aiding and abetting. Okay. I arrest you for acting oppressively and when interested and perverting the course of justice. You must stand down. You are now in my custody and under arrest. You are not free to leave.
Just have a seat.
Does this court obey the law, sir?
Just have a seat.
Does this court obey the law?
Have a seat.
Even just once?
Have a seat. Mr. Prosecutor, how many police witnesses?
4, Your Honour. There's Miss Quinn, Gary French, law court defence and informant Portage.
So 2 police and 2 civilian? Now, Mr. Freeman.
Yes.
In terms of your defence for the matter, what do you say? How many witnesses do you have?
I'll run my case. Well, I'm going to run it, sir. Magistrate Stella Stuttridge has already progressed this matter. On the 13th of December last year,
Mr. Freeman, I've asked you a question.
Okay, so someone's like screen recorded
How many
this.
witnesses do you have?
Witnesses?
Yeah.
I don't need witnesses.
Okay, so you have no witnesses?
It's very weird
The
to have
purpose of
any
this hearing
Australian
is to
court
determine
stuff.
how long the contested hearing will take.
Sir, it's not. That's not what Magistrate Stuttridge ruled, and I'm about to give you that information, and so far you've suppressed me from giving that information.
This matter is listed for a contest mention.
We are back.
Ruling as a contest mention.
Can I speak now, please, sir?
Your question.
On the 13th of December last year, Magistrate Stella Stuttridge identified serious issues I raised, being a serious abuse of process in this matter, an order that was not made according to law, and many counts of fraud and perjury by the applicant. As a result, I've implemented a voir dire that this case cannot proceed until these matters are dealt with.
Voir
It
dire.
was upheld by Magistrate Stella Stuttridge, who allocated a hearing, which is now a year later, this one, and she specifically said that Magistrate Cottrell is not to sit on the matter because he was the one that caused the problem, that Magistrate Watkins cannot because he isn't biased, and that you cannot either. And then the registrar, Sam out there at the front, told me 3 weeks ago that you're one of the magistrates that had recused yourself from this matter. And I'm very angry that the registrars couldn't get it right and went and allocated this hearing while you were sitting when it was supposed to be Magistrate David Farram, according to Magistrate Stella Stuttridge. She also stated in the court, on the record, which you need to check, prosecutions are on notice that the hearing will be an application to strike the matter out, nothing else. She said it is booked in for an application to strike the matter out. She specifically told that to Prosecutor Stuart Pritchard. There has been a shocking delay in justice in the past year waiting for my hearing. I've been back to court to try and get it heard sooner, which is a perversion of the course of justice. And I'm not ready to make any more concessions for people. I've been to court 15 times.
Whoa.
You would have been the 5th magistrate, but as it's gone around in circle, the 4th magistrate to sit on this case. This travesty of justice and unlawfulness by Loretta Quinn, by the police and by this court has continued for 2.5 years. Even during the deaths, my family deaths I had 2 weeks after my sister-in-law dropped dead in front of the 4 kids, you and Evans and Eliades, French and Quinn and their lawyers all got in here and colluded all day long and harassed me for a full day in August. Then you adjourned it to November, but I was hounded and hammered again in the most sadistic way for a full day. And then I still didn't get the matter resolved because this court is still unable to resolve it according to law, which would only take 5 minutes. Now, the crimes that were committed by Loretta Quinn and Magistrate Cottrell took 17 minutes on the court record. It has now taken me 17 months to try and get the law simply upheld and get this matter reversed. And I can assure you I am extremely angry and extremely determined, and I have no more concessions or grace left for anyone involved, and I'm ready to launch private prosecutions against anyone who breaks the law in the court today. Now, I have the laws that are being broken, sir.
Mr. Freeman,
I'm being cut off, yeah? Okay.
Magistrate Stuffridge has made no orders in this matter. The matter is listed for a contest meeting today.
So you're going to railroad me again, okay?
I have no evidence that what you say is correct. So, in terms of not calling any witnesses, it would appear to be a factual argument.
Correct, sir. I have evidence to give on the stand, sir.
It's a question of factual argument.
I have evidence to give up there to this court. That's my right.
Hey.
Oh, yes, it is today. It is my right to a fair hearing. 2.5 years. Well, this needs to go to the Supreme Court. Do not adjourn this case, sir. You will be perverting the course of justice, and I will prosecute you.
It's a matter for you. How long will this matter take, Mr. Prosecutor? I would imagine at least a day.
At least a day, Your Honour. This court has constructive knowledge of perjury being committed. You'll be aiding and abetting that if you proceed. You'll be in breach of Justice Courtroom's rulings in the High Court, Nicholas versus the Queen, 1998, by proceeding in a matter that is an abusive process, where there are other serious matters raised which have been identified by a previous magistrate. Yeah. You cannot proceed in this matter by ruling of the High Court of Australia. If you're acting in criminal bias, the magistrate acting oppressively or when interested, I have a right to a fair hearing and I have a right to justice.
What do you think that this dude, he's the prosecutor in the police uniform, by the way, is writing on the note to this lady over here? How the fuck do we shut him up? Like, how do you actually respond to this?
Yeah, it's awkward.
It's awkward, but I also, on the other hand, I kind of get it. Like, he's saying he's been to court, 15 times?
Yeah.
Over 17 months to try and get this matter resolved. Nothing's happened. So he continues to have a matter that is not going anywhere, just continued to be brought up, right? So that's got to be very frustrating. But he also seems to be his own worst enemy in that he is representing himself and not allowing anyone to just help him resolve it, if that makes sense.
Justice, if I do not get it, this proves that this is not a court of competent jurisdiction and you will be prosecuted, sir. For the Supreme Court and High Court justices listening to this recording in the future, take note the magistrate Dunn is not allowing me to have a fair hearing, is obstructing justice and is in breach of the law. So I have an hour allocated for this hearing. I want to get up on that stand and give some evidence.
No, you're not.
Okay, well, you're perverting the course of justice. I've had enough of it. You're acting oppressively and when interested, in breach of the Crimes Act.
You're available on the 5th of February?
No, sir, you have constructive knowledge of crimes committed in this court. You are now aiding and abetting them.
Are you available on the 5th of February?
Peter Dunn, I arrest you for aiding and abetting.
Okay. But
I arrest you for acting oppressively and when interested and perverting the course of justice. You must stand down. You are now in my custody and under arrest. You are not free to leave.
Just mind asking.
For the Supreme and High Court justices listening to this recording in future, take note that the magistrate is under arrest for serious crimes committed against me, as have been outlined in numerous hearings and this one. I have no choice but to make this arrest under Section 458 of the Crimes Act, which is my lawful right to do so. This case cannot proceed. Right, who's the highest ranking police officer here?
That'd be me.
Right.
No.
So you're obliged. Excuse me,
excuse me for a moment. Just excuse me, Mr. Freeman.
Arrest has been made.
Mr. Freeman, just excuse me for a moment.
Please.
5th of February at this court or at Juliet, at this court or at Myrtleford? Well, I need to know now whether it's Myrtleford or is it 5th of February a Myrtleford day? Okay.
Sir, your mask is falling down and that makes it completely useless. Your nose is sticking out. Everyone can get all of your germs. They're all just coming straight out of your nose and all the COVID is just spewing into the air.
5th of February at Myrtleford.
Mr. Doss, I arrest you as well for malfeasance of public office and refusing to do your duty. All right? And your other charges will be added to that. Okay? So for the court record, for the Supreme Court and High Court justices listening to this recording, you're both under arrest. This matter has stopped. You are not free to leave. You are in my custody. If you leave, you'll be escaping lawful custody and resisting arrest. That's the law under Section 458 of the Crimes Act.
He looks so
which I'm
worried.
entitled to enact.
I think that's your
according to the circumstances.
That would be your interpretation of the law.
You can say what you want. Yeah. All right.
Well, no, but just because you say so, Mr. Freeman, doesn't mean it's right. 5th of February.
Constable Sarah Williamson. It's now your role
No,
to arrest Mr. Dosser and Mr.
Time to go, Mr. Freeman. The matter's booked in for a hearing.
This is done, Mr. Freeman. You're
Okay.
excused from
I'll collect my papers. Thank you very much.
good job.
Absolutely disgusting. Shameful. Now, the paper that you need. A document for the court, sir. I must leave here, according to law.
Well, if you leave it at the front counter, that'll be just.
Leave it at the front counter.
Because you are under the Criminal Code Act, Section 83(4), because you are using force and intimidation to interfere with my Australian democratic and political right to have my case heard.
Off you go, Mr. Freeman. Off you go.
I arrest you, sir, and I
Time to
arrest
leave.
you.
Off you go.
Time to leave.
Time to leave. Grab your papers and off you go.
So all of you police in the courtroom and magistrate are arrested according to law. This will be taken up in the Supreme Court.
Will it?
I'm now under duress. I fear for my safety, given that there are 4 armed criminals.
The phone and all your bits and pieces.
4 armed criminals surrounding me in an intimidating manner. I'm under duress.
Off you go. Bye, Mr. Freeman.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time.
You're receiving your charge sheet summons.
Next.
Wow. So this was on a the channel that supports him. Hang on, and I will show you. Just a minute. We'll go over to it. Yeah, this old bugger. This one. No offense to him. Oops. What happened? Yeah, this one. So if we have a look at his comment section, we don't have to watch him. We can have a look at his comment section. We can see that this video, 4.6K views 2 days ago, his channel's called Liability Mate. And yeah. And oops, I'll just zoom up so we can see a bit better. Okay, enough. All right, so stand in your pea patch. I don't know what that means. Good on you. More people need to understand how this works and put all these pricks where they belong. There is a civil war coming to this place, and all these treasonous pricks will be held to account. Okay. No matter what, Australia, hold your ground. These criminals disguised as politicians and police are working overtime to push their criminal activity. It's a true kangaroo court. Finally. There's actually a real kangaroo court.
I know.
And the old lady, what? I know. I'm so sick of people calling things a kangaroo court. It's so insulting to kangaroos.
Right?
I don't understand why Dezi Freeman tried to arrest the false magistrate in the center of the false magistrate's illegal power. Mr. Freeman should have deputized some other citizens and arrested the bastard at his home at 6 a.m. like the illegal coppers do. That's an interesting argument. Yeah, why didn't he just like deputize some people and get them to do his work for him? That's actually quite brilliant. There's no coincidence that Pedowood is releasing an A-lister movie in November titled Nuremberg, no doubt full of BS propaganda, but nonetheless bringing the subject matter of Nuremberg trials and crimes against humanity to the front of the world consciousness right at the time or just before most military trials that have already something or other. Okay, so these people are all following a political party which doesn't yet, I believe, have a seat in the Senate here, called the Great Australia Party, I think it's called. Let me see if I can find it. And their agenda is they're very, very far right. So they want firearms back as like right for everybody. So basically they want like the US laws for firearms. They want like what do you call it? No abortions, and they want there to be freedom of choice for your vaccinations and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, this man here, he is very much in favor of this party that has one candidate, I think, that's trying to get a place in our Senate. And like some of the things that they say are kind of fair, but it's just we don't have the same. Like here we have like the Constitution. He's putting forth our Constitution, and the thing is that our Constitution is just not the same as yours. So we just don't have the same rights that you do. We just don't. It's as simple as that. So not really quite sure how these people think that things are going to change. I mean, the thing is that when it comes down to it, like we've got people out there who are talking about Dezi Freeman and how this guy, the whole raid on his property, it might not even really happen. Like how can they say that and they haven't released the body cam? And it's like, dude, we never get body cam. Like we never get anything here. Like we don't get to like the fact that we're looking at a court hearing, like this has clearly been pirated, right? Like someone has screen recorded his Zoom hearing from back in when the pandemic was on, right? And we're not supposed to be watching this. No way.
Yeah.
And I'm only streaming it because I know it's in a bunch of other places as well. And if someone tells me to take it down, I'll take it down, right? But we never get to see inside like court hearings. We never get to see court documents. We never get to see body cams unless like it's years later and the cops don't care about it. We don't get to see them whilst an investigation is going on. That's for damn sure, right? And like, yeah, it's just not. This is not the US. It's just not. Anyway, so stay tuned for updates. He still hasn't been found. Obviously, it's day 6 now. I'll let you know if there's any sighting. I dare say if they see him, his brains are going to be blown out all over the landscape over there.
The bush.
Yeah. Well, our coppers don't get much target practice, so
there is that.
Yeah. No, they don't get to have a good old shoot very often. So, and that this guy has shot a couple of their comrades. So, I think that they're all they're shining up their machine guns, and I think they've got machine guns, their shotguns. They're ready to shoot. They're target practice. They've got target practice going on this dude. There is no way that he's just like coming out and going, yeah, sure, hey, how's it going? Love yous. It is all very sad though. Like I just think that it's a bit of a sad situation that he clearly was declining over the recent years, and he's not the only one. People in this part of the world, Victoria, Melbourneites, he's not in Melbourne, but like I know people from this part of Australia, and they're still traumatized by what happened over the COVID period because they were kept indoors for so long. So many people lost their livelihoods. It was just a really terrible period, and there are lots of people still left behind like this who, sure, he's got PTSD, you know.
Oh yeah.
And yeah,
kids didn't develop right. They couldn't see like faces. People got addictions, and it messed a lot of people up psychologically, being locked down for so long. And the development of children during crucial periods.
Absolutely. And next door has decided to start mowing. So it's time to get going. Thank you guys for hanging out. And yeah, I will let you know if there's any updates. And RIP to the 2 officers who were killed. That's not something to joke about at all. But also I feel very bad for his wife and kids. They seem like a pretty decent family. He had everything kind of going for him, and everything kind of fell apart. So these things happen, but it's very sad. All right, guys, time for the song.
Her name was Ella. She was an Aussie. She was a fake lawyer from the future. She got on YouTube and made some live streams. The co-host is Dolly and she dances sometimes. The words are always so loud, and because she's an 803.